Welcome viewers, my name is Luke Macris and this is my channel that's meant to help all of you. So on my channel I like to talk about different topics that I have learned about or that I would like to share with you all because I've gained so much knowledge through my college experiences, my work experiences and things like that, and so I want to share them all with you guys. So today I'm going to talk about personality tests. Are they really accurate, or what should I be doing with my personality test and things like that? Because I've taken a lot of them myself. I don't always necessarily agree with them, but I think they are a great resource if you use them the right way. So my overall take on personality tests is that every time you take them, you can get different results, and that it's not necessarily the most accurate sort of reflection of who you are. But a lot of that is due not because the test is inaccurate, but because we as humans are inaccurate, or in a way we change, or we have different personalities, or we think differently each time we take it. So the question, you might have a slightly different answer one time than when you take it another time, and things like that. So you might take the same test several times but get different results, and so it's largely due to human fault, maybe not necessarily so much the fault of the test. And so that's why it's important to take what the test gives you, use that to enable yourself to think critically about yourself, and to ask others about what they think of you, so that you can compare them and find out really where the intersection of all those different parts are, to find out your true strengths and personality. So the personality test is really great at making you think about yourself, but they're not necessarily 100% accurate as to what your personality really is or what your strengths are. Now I do want to highlight two tests that are a really great source of reflective information. So the Myers-Briggs test and the StrengthsFinders test. Now I personally enjoy the StrengthsFinders test the most because it comes also with a book that explains each of the strengths. And the strengths that they give you, it comes out of 34 different strengths. They give you your top 5, and those 5 strengths are in order, typically what you're most strong at. And so for me, my 5 strengths are right here on my business card. They're discipline, harmony, achiever, consistency, and responsibility, in that order. And so at first glance those words don't necessarily speak directly to exactly what they are, but the StrengthsFinder book provides you with a short description, like a page long, that really tells you what that means. And so for me at first, I was a little hesitant when I first saw the words, but when I read the description, I said, oh, okay, I see how that kind of makes sense. Some parts of each word, some parts of the description for each of the words I might disagree with, but it really got me thinking about, like, is this accurate? If not, what do I think is really accurate? And so that's really one of the things that you should be doing with StrengthsFinder, with any sort of personality test. That's really what it should be used for. But I also want to say that I enjoy the book that comes with it, because it gives you all 34 words, and so with that you can read the other descriptions of words that describe other people, and you can say, hey, I know who that is, or I know that person is also achiever, or that person is another term that's in the book, or another one of the 34 strengths. I know personally when I read it, I was going through, every time I read a different word and description, I go, hey, that was my brother, or that's my mom, or that's my best friend, or things like that. The personality test, at least this one specifically, it really just is meant to open your mind and to get you thinking about personality. And so from there, you can then decide what your real personality is. So something I just want to throw in that's sort of related to personality tests and finding out who you are and things like that, is that you need to be able to answer the question of why. Why do you do things? Why do you wake up every morning? What is it that really gets you motivated? So like for me, it's about sharing, and that's why I have this channel and things like that. And so that why of sharing and helping others and enabling others to be successful is part of one of my strengths, and part of my personality, that is to be helpful and to be serving and to be outgoing and things like that. And so in my attempts to share with everybody and things like that, I really do see those 5 strengths of mine that were in StrengthsFinder. The discipline that I have to learn all these things and to continually post videos every day and things like that, so I see that there. And then harmony, I'm always trying to find the synergies between people, matching people with resources, or sharing what I know with you all, helping you guys to achieve. That's harmony. I could go on with all of them, but in each of those, I see where, because I took the test and I've read those words, I can then more clearly look back at myself and say, where do I embody one of these 5, or where do I not embody one of these 5? And if I don't embody it, what do I think is the right answer? And so, because these personality tests are not always 100% accurate of who you are, another great thing that you need to do, or that you should do, in order to also eliminate that human bias, that your internal bias that you're unconscious of, is to ask others about what they think of you, or how they see you, or things like that. So, like, a couple questions I would think about, asking somebody who's close to you or who you think knows you very well, would be like, ask them, how do you describe me? What do you think my strengths and my weaknesses are? If you had to come to me for advice, what kind of advice would it be? Would it be financial advice? Would it be social advice? Would it be this, that, or the other? It can be as specific or as broad as you want, but what would I come to you? Ask them, what would you come to me for? What is it that I can do that can really help you all, or provide a service, or what is it that I can teach really well to somebody else? Those are the things that will help you realize what your strengths are. And then typically, your strengths are related to your personality, because it's related to your passions and you answering the question of why. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? A couple other questions you should ask are, what do you look up to me for in terms of like advice? What kind of environment do you think I would do best in? Where do you think that I would have the best sort of job environment? Would it be in a big store, or would it be as an entrepreneur? Things like that. Another great thing to ask, maybe you should ask to classmates or people who you work in teams with typically, is ask, like, when we're working in teams, what do you see me doing most often, or what do you see me being able to contribute most in terms of ability to succeed in the team? And that's something you should also ask yourself, especially if you're in school and you're doing group projects. After the group project, ask yourself, what was it that I stepped up to do in the group project? What was it that I wanted to do in the group project? Because that'll help you find out a little bit more about your strengths. And so I know I'm talking a lot about strengths and your passions and things like that, but that's because it's all really, really closely tied to your personality. Who you are and what you enjoy doing is pretty much what your personality is, because you'll embody those things that you want to do and that you enjoy doing through the actions that you take, and so those actions that you take really form your personality. Now, another great thing about personality tests is that sometimes, like the Strengths Finder, for example, which I will link below, sorry if I didn't say that yet, but something about the personality test is that some of them tell you like who would be your complement, or who would be a great addition to you, and that kind of thing. And so especially for entrepreneurs, like myself, that's great for when you're trying to find like a co-founder or something like that. But when those results give you those other people, I would take that with even like more of I would take that with more of a grain of salt. But it is a great sort of catalyst to make you start thinking about what kind of people you enjoy surrounding yourself with and things like that. And so do you enjoy being around other people? Some people, part of their personality is being reserved and being quiet and things like that. And so there's nothing wrong with that. It's just understanding that that's your personality, and who should you be interacting with in order to get the most out of yourself and get the most out of the other person. So, like, for example, the Strengths Finder test, in the book, for each personality trait, it tells you what other trait would be a great complement to that. So not necessarily taking the 5 that they give you and finding out what the complements are to that, but finding which 5 you think describe you the most. They could be exactly the same as the one on the Strengths Finder test, but then from that saying, alright, so these are what I think are my strengths, and then I can find these other people who might be complements, and then experimenting with that a little bit. But that's just, trying to take the personality test one step further. So there's no need to try to do that. I'm sure that you'll find out by interacting with different people what it is that you need most from other people in order to help the both of you out. And that's the important part, is to help both of you out. That goes back to the idea of networking and creating a relationship where you're looking to serve before others. And I made a video about that, so I'll link that below as well. So personality tests should be taken with a grain of salt. They're not meant to be the definite answer to what your personality is. They're more so meant to be a catalyst to make you think about who you are, what your strengths are, what you think your personality is, and then get you to ask other people, about how they see you and what they think your personality is and what your strengths are. And feel free to take them several times, or even over longer periods of time, to see how you've changed and things like that. But really, the point of the personality test, I think, is to get you to think critically about who you are in your personality in reality. And so with those either results that you agree or those results that you don't agree, put those kind of together to figure out what your real personality is. For those that you agree, that's great. For those that you don't agree with, say, what do I really think it is and why? Make sure that you're not including any sort of biases, and so just really thinking a lot about it. You're never going to get it spot on. I mean, for me, I've been thinking about it all the time. I think about it almost every day, but I'm never going to get it 100% straight on accurate, and I don't think anybody is. I think that really the most important thing to remember, if you really want to remember one thing when you're trying to figure out what you're doing and things like that, is that you need to ask yourself the question why. Always ask yourself why, and that'll help you take who you are, take your personality, take your strengths, and translate them into actions that you should be taking. I want to thank you all for your time today. I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys have some new insight into personality tests. If you guys have anything you want to share with me, I would love to hear it. If you have any insights into personality tests, or you want to share your strengths, your personality, maybe you took StrengthsFinder and you want to share your strengths as well, I'm all up for that. And I'm sure that really the entire community would love to hear it, because that's really the goal is to create a larger community where we can all benefit from each other. So please do share, leave comments. Also feel free to leave comments about how my video is. Do I need to improve upon anything, things like that. Also, please, if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so that I can give you guys more insightful, helpful, and uplifting content. My goal is to post something every day by 9 a.m. Oftentimes it'll be the night before that I post it, but my goal is every day to have new content. So please do check back. Thank you.